Hello, this is Sister Mary Margaret Fussyknickers. You're about to listen to Free State Radio. Why? I don't know. You may hear subversive ideas like liberty, responsibility, and rights. You may even hear a bad word or two from those foul-mouthed hosts they call talent. So you best shut your mouth and open your mind, because Free State Radio is now on the air.
Hammers back and the safety's on, safety's on, safety's on. Hammers back and the safety's on unless it's a Glock.
And we're up.
Oh, we're on the air?
No, we're not on the air now. Yes, we are.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was like screwing around trying to figure out who, this person was. So hi, welcome. I didn't realize, I thought you were testing out things that you might want to listen to as the intro. No, okay, well.
It said we were going live, but you had your headphones plugged into the wrong jack.
I missed it. Yes, I totally missed it. Anyway, hi, welcome to the August 19th edition of Lock and Load Radio. We are happy to have you all. And I see that Applehead and Paperwork and Perrin have joined us. I'm still trying to figure out who Storm 40 is. I did put in a text to somebody that I'm hoping it will turn out to be. But anyway, so it's been a good week. And you were gone last week.
Yes, wonderfully so. In Seaside, Florida, vacationing with my wife, my 4 kids, and my brother and his wife and his 2 kids, and my parents down in, if anybody's ever watched the show, The Truman Show, we were 2 blocks from the house that was Truman's house in the town that was used as the center point for most of the outside shots. And there goes Andy's phone because she forgot to mute it again.
Sorry. Well, I did mute it, but it didn't take. So,
no, I had a lovely week visiting the Emerald Coast of Florida. Beautiful weather, hot as hell. It was like 94 degrees every friggin' day. But we only had 2 rainstorms the entire week that I was down there, which is unusual for Florida, period.
Yeah, that is, because usually every day at 4:30.
Yeah, pretty much. But no, it was a gorgeous week. Spent a lot of time out on the beach, spent a lot of time going around to various museums and touristy crap, but we had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay. Cypher Funk says I'm not allowed to have any more wine. He's like, because I said, "Are you this person?" Right? And he said, "No, I'm Cypherpunk." And I was like, he was like, "No more wine for you, okay?" And I'm like, "Okay, whatever." Did we check the Blog Talk to see if it will function? What should we do about it?
Well, Blog Talk is up and running. We would need somebody to actually log into it and try to see if they can hear us. It did the test just fine when I tested it earlier, so I'm assuming we can be heard. Right. So yes, I guess we need to let a certain person know.
That would be good. All right. So so let her know. Hi, Chris. Perrin, don't go there. So you had a very pleasant week with your family and your kids.
Yep.
And I have news.
You do?
I do.
Are you sure? Pictures
coming across my. Okay, Cypher is sending me pictures of his dinner. Okay. Yes, as a matter of fact, guess what I did today?
Well,
you'd like to say you don't know?
Because I can't say that I don't know.
I see Bolts is in the room and Rain Man. Good. You guys are just in time. I see 2A and Marilyn has joined us. 2A and Marilyn, thank you for your help earlier today. I really, 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 really appreciate it because I was a little busy today. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, gentlemen. You are looking at the new policy director for the Division of Labor and Industry in the Department of Labor Licensing and Regulation.
Congratulations.
I am working under Secretary Kelly Schultz. And, of course, that would be the Hogan administration. And I am loving it. I mean, it was first day, so it wasn't really complicated. But I am so excited. And that said, I need to make sure that you all know that nothing that is said on this program reflects the opinions of any group or organization or company or department or division that either one of us would be working for, representing, or otherwise. If we are speaking for an organization, for instance, if I am speaking for MSRPA, I will say it is MSRPA's position that, okay, otherwise it's just little old me and it's just little old Mike.
A little? Okay.
I was
I-
gonna, so whatever. Thank you, Dan.
I
So
way too much to be called little.
So yeah, it's freaking awesome. Yeah, it is. It's awesome. It's quite a bump. And actually, I was really touched because I was at dinner and we grabbed dinner before the show, and hence my bourbon and ginger. But the secretary herself called me just to make sure I got settled in and did I need anything. And I thought, as busy as that woman is, she took the time. What did you do?
I sent the previous message and then asked the gentleman to see my other message, and
Oh, he left.
he left. But now we have no op in the channel. So,
Oh, crap. So we don't. There's nothing we can do.
well, he de-opt himself, so now we can't do anything.
Well, he's okay. The only other thing we
okay.
can do is close it and open it again. But
The only
then
thing I
everybody-
could do, yeah, we'd have to ask everybody to log out of lock-in mode for about
Nah.
5 minutes and then log back in.
Yeah, you know what? We'll just leave it. Thank you, Storm. We
Let's
appreciate it.
see. We have a caller.
We do.
Yes. So I think I need to bring this caller in, but I think I need to do something at the same
Is
time
it-
that I bring her.
Would it be
caller
a
in.
703 exchange?
No, not at all.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you.
Hammers back in the safety's on, safety's on, safety's on. Hammers back in the safety's on unless it's a Glock.
Good evening, caller.
Good evening. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. With an intro like that, we didn't make it work.
Let's see.
Bummer, man.
It says that she's live.
Hello, favored lobbyist. I'm sorry, liaison. Okay, let me check my Facebook and see if she's Facebooking me. Oh, Okay, you don't have her on like mute or anything, do you?
No, I do not.
Okay, okay. Speak, woman. Okay, well, I don't know what to tell you because we can't hear you, but according to our control panel, you are set. Mona has joined the lock and load. Welcome, Mona. Well, anyway, until you get her situated. So anyway, today was my first day, and I am down on North Utah. So if you were working in Baltimore City, give me a call. God knows you all have my cell phone number. Give me a call, and if I can, we'll jump for lunch, or you can bring lunch and we can eat lunch at my desk or whatever. But Mona quit the client. Okay. So anyway, I'm really excited, and it's really a little irony here. I guess it's irony. You'll have to tell me if I'm wrong, but I think it's irony. When I was interviewing, I reminded, not reminded, but I was telling them it is ironic. My father used to work for the U.S. Department of Labor, and here I am working for the Maryland Division of Labor. And so I thought it was very funny. And I can't hear anything. She hears dead air. She hears a beep. She hears another beep. Okay. Stand by. Okay. So we're trying to get Shannon worked out. Shannon is calling in about, well, I'll let her explain, and I'll let Mike explain, and we will go from there. I will let them work this out, and I will go on to, I don't have a whole lot because there wasn't a whole lot of time to prep because, well, yeah. It's just, no.
Tell her I'm going to try to call her.
Okay. Stand by. And okay. Okay. I can't watch on the computer at the same time. I won't have a cell signal. I don't. Okay. I told her. Okay. She said, okay, hung up on. All right. We're working on it. Yeah, so Bolts, this is why we haven't been able to have you on the phone on the show yet, because we're still having these issues. So we will work it out because I want to hear all about Bama. Table saw? Stephanie Rawlings Blake just called for more gun control on WVAL. Link is on his 2 a.m. Maryland's
Gee, I'm
page.
surprised.
Yeah,
So did Muriel Bowser. So did Chief Lanier.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, that gets to the heart of what we are going to be talking about tonight. A lot of the articles actually are about things like that. Okay, Bolts, I can't read that on the air. Excuse me. So, this is not what I meant to do. So, according to the Washington Examiner, Bloomberg and the Dems are pushing Cabela's Bass Pro to ignore the FBI rules and slow down gun sales. The nation's top outfitters, this was published today, as a matter of fact. So, nice catch, because I know you were busy as sin. The nation's top outfitters and gun retailers have rejected an unusual Democratic request to ignore current background checks rules and institute their own system of anti-gun advocates believe would slow sales. Already required to run background checks. I'm getting yes, it's okay. Hold on. I'm getting some requests via Facebook. Okay, so let me do this. Let me do that. Control C, and then Facebook. All right, Kevin, here you go. There you go. All right. Sharon says,
I know.
Bueller.
I've got text. I'm texting
Okay.
her text.
All right. So anyway, according to the National Rifle Association, the firms so far have rejected the request. And frankly, I spend a lot of money at Cabela's every year. If they were to adhere to this request, they would no longer have my business. They would not have my husband's business, nor would they have my father's business. And we do enough business with them that they send us the Bible. So, and you do have to do a certain amount of business to have earned the Bible. Under current FBI rules, buyers are allowed to get their weapon after the third day, although the check for disqualifying information through the NICS system, the National Instant Criminal Background Check System, will continue for a total of 90 days. It's a small number, however, since 91% of the background checks are completed instantly, surpassing the Attorney General's own goal. Gun control advocates believe that too many criminals get guns under the 3-day rule when a longer background check could discover disqualifying information. By blocking sales until the 90 days are up, the senators feel fewer criminals will get arms. The NRA ILA noted in a blog post that the FBI already has rules to get those guns back. The anti-gunners know more than they are telling. However, first, according to the FBI, if a background check cannot be completed within 3 days, the NICS section continues to search for the information necessary to make it.
Our menu has recently changed. Please listen carefully to the new prompts before making your selection.
Since it appears you're calling back into a live show, we are reconnecting you now.
Okay. Does that mean we're getting her?
I don't know.
Okay.
Keep going.
Anyway, NICS will notify you. NICS will notify the dealer to recover any. Actually, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives to recover any firearms if they are a prohibited person. The FBI reports that in 2014, the NICS section forwarded 2,511 firearm retrieval referrals to BATFE. Something on the order of about 0.1%. This is according to the Washington Examiner, of firearms sold by the dealers at the year. The Democratic effort echoes one by the earlier by the Bloomberg-funded Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense to Cabela's. Yeah, well, you know what? Cabela's knows where they're making their money, and it isn't from the Bloomberg people. As a matter of fact, there was another article about, I'm going to be stealing some of your articles here. Hold on. Nope, I'm not. So, all right, they're still working on it. And another brilliant logical
I'll
news.
apologize ahead of time. You guys might hear something. I'm going to try to dial in through Skype real quick.
Okay. Emily Miller posted yesterday afternoon. I'm sure a lot of you read it, but just in case you didn't, that the DC chief of police, Lanier, that Lanier, that quote illegal firearms end quote and quote high capacity magazines cause of homicide spike and shooting today. You know what? It would just be easier to have her call on my cell phone. Oh, you're still working it. Okay. So, So because, high capacity magazines are, always a problem. And actually, the ridiculous of that statement has been seen in Illinois, which is what Shannon's going to talk about. Yes, I am quite sure that you saw my Facebook today. I'm sure you all live to read my Facebook.
Okay. Blog Talk's not working.
Okay, that's fine. Governor Hogan announced that 95% of his cancer is gone, which is awesome. So really, really happy to hear that. We just need to get rid of the other 5%. Do you want me to call her?
Yeah, you're going to have to because
Okay.
I can't. The Blog Talk won't answer.
Shannon, if you're listening, I'm calling you now. And if you're not listening, I'm calling you now anyway. Okay. That's odd. Oh, I got it. Okay.
Hello.
Hello. Shannon Alford from the National Rifle Association Institute for Legislative Action. How are you, dear?
I am good.
Good.
I see that we seem to have figured out some kind of technical difficulty solution.
Well, yeah, sure. I called you on my cell and I'm holding it up to the microphone. So, Mike, do you want to get into what this article is about by way of introduction so she can talk about it?
Oh, let's see. So, Chicago Sun-Times. Want to know how to get a gun? Just ask Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Quote unquote, quoting from the article, the skinny teen attends high school in Chicago and is a talented athlete. He's also a notorious gunslinger. As a shooter in a Southside gang, he can get his hands on a gun as quick as you can get a burger at a fast food restaurant. Quote, I will make a call and say I need a gun. I will ride down the street on my bike and get it. 5 minutes.
Yep.
Chicago Sun-Times sat down with Chris for a lesson on how gangs get guns. Armed gangs like Chris have driven up Chicago's murder total 28% above the tally at this time last year, and Chris is on the front lines. So, long story short, what we did for years, guns that criminals get are not being gotten because the criminals are walking into a damn gun store.
Right. Well, Shannon is not just our liaison for Maryland, but she happens to be the Illinois liaison. So, of course, when we read that article, I quick called her up and said, come be on the show.
Yes, isn't that convenient for you all?
Yes. In point of fact, it is. Basically, I can track you down anyway. So, what would you like to say about this? I'm sure you have some thoughts.
Well, the first thought I have is, of course, the same thought that we always have, which is number one. So we have, people out on the streets committing crimes with firearms, and then they get arrested, and then they cut a deal, and they're back out on the streets again, committing more crimes with firearms. And so it's repeat offenders out committing these crimes, and actually in the state of Illinois,
She keeps cutting in and out.
being found in possession of a firearm if you are a gang known to be a
No.
if you're just
Yeah,
Joe Blow on the street.
I don't know why she's cutting.
She's cutting in and out on your cell call.
I don't know what to do about that.
Shannon, we're getting clipped about every, half sentence from you.
Okay, give me 3 minutes.
Okay.
I will attempt to reach a better cell signal area.
Okay. All right.
Talk amongst yourselves.
All right. Well, getting to the point that Mike was making brings up my next article. According to the Daily Caller, and I know you all will just die of shock. We're just breaking news here. Campus no gun policy fails to deter dangerous gunmen somehow. This was written by Robbie Soav. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, and it was published actually quite a while ago.
Okay.
I have no idea how I got this. Apparently, okay.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Works for me. Working for me.
Okay. I'm outside. There's a frog looking at me.
They're not in season, so don't shoot it.
You shoot them?
Well, the legs are pretty small anyway. That would barely be an appetizer.
See, you'd wreck the legs. So
Well,
yeah,
I'm a decent enough shot. I feel like I could get a frog at close range without damaging the legs.
okay. Well, you go, babe. You go. All right.
Back to Chicago. So essentially, here's the thing: you've got criminals out on the street committing crimes with firearms, and actually in the state of Illinois, being in possession of a firearm as a quote member of a street gang is actually a greater penalty than just straight up being illegally in possession of a firearm.
You think?
They cut a deal. They get that let back out onto the streets. They're committing more crimes with more firearms, and they have people, according to this article and according to common sense, they've got people who are connected to the gangs who they can call up to make a straw purchase for them. Well, the person that they're calling up to make the straw purchase has committed a minimum of 3, if not 4 or 5, depending on the exact circumstances, federal felonies at the moment that they walk out of that gun store. So why are we cutting deals with these gangbangers to say, tell us who your source is, and then prosecuting the straw purchasers? Cut them off at the source.
Gee.
Because enforcing the laws we already have on the books makes too much sense.
Because we wouldn't want to do that because that doesn't feel good. That doesn't make us feel good.
No, it doesn't make us feel good, and it doesn't involve microphones and TV cameras.
Correct. It's not sexy.
Yeah.
It's just not
It's really
sexy.
not.
So,
And moreover, if you prosecute those straw purchasers for just one, they become prohibited, and they can't ever be a straw purchaser again.
Yep. So, I mean, it's just, you think Maryland's crazy, but then you look at Illinois and you go, oh, God, there, but for the grace of God, go us, go we, go I, whatever. But I'm just happy I don't live there.
Well, if you did, you'd have a carry permit.
Oh, it's that easy?
It shall issue.
Oh, okay. Yes, I would have a carry permit. Anyway, according to this very old article, but campus's no gun policy fails to deter a dangerous gunman. An armed criminal did the unthinkable at North Carolina about 2 years ago. He brought a weapon into a gun-free zone. It just gets more into, people put signs on the door saying you can't have a gun. Well, if you have a concealed carry permit, how are you going to know if they have a gun? And frankly, if somebody comes in to shoot up the shop, I want somebody else in there with a gun.
Well, who are you going to call if somebody comes in to shoot up your shop?
Not Ghostbusters.
The cops
Right.
who have guns.
Yep. Yes, indeed.
When somebody commits a crime with a gun, who do you call? You call people with more guns.
Bolts is reporting that he got I guess he got his permit in Alabama, and it's a NICS check for the permit, and that's it.
I believe his post on shooters was 5 minutes and $75. Or no, sorry, 15 minutes and $75.
Oh my God. Yes. And Vivek Murthy stands by gun violence statements. Shannon, I'm quite sure you haven't seen this because this was just published. The nation's chief doctor says he doesn't regret gun violence as a public health issue, calling his difficult confirmation process a consequence of speaking out. And then blah, blah, blah. He was confirmed, blah, blah, blah. He says the challenging process showed him the importance of community, including those from the medical, public health, tech, and Asian American communities who rallied in support of him. I'd never even heard of him until this article. The doctor said he still believes gun violence is a preventable health problem, comparing it to seatbelts and swimming pool safety. He was speaking at the Asian American Journalists Association convention in San Francisco. I know that you are not going to comment on that, but I think I'm going to have a pretty good giggle over that.
Well, I'll comment on this. The last time I checked, firearms were not a disease vector.
Communicable or otherwise. Yes. So, yeah, I'm just unbelievable. What else is going on that we need to know about in the fabulous
There was another story that came out of Chicago.
Okay.
So the Chicago media made a big to-do about this study that came out by a researcher who, conveniently enough, used to work at the Bloomberg School of Public Health.
Shocker.
And he claims, based on some data that he gathered, that firearms ownership is indirectly is a reverse correlation to law enforcement deaths. Essentially, in a state where you have greater firearms ownership, you have more law enforcement deaths. Now, the problem, and then of course the Chicago media is going on and on about how this just means that more guns are the problem, and if you have more firearms ownership in your state, you're going to have more law enforcement deaths. So if you want to save cops' lives, then you need to get rid of the firearms. Well, the problem with that study is that they based it on, number one, a survey of firearms ownership, which typically has incredibly skewed reporting rates, because people in pro-gun states are going to gladly report, darn right, I own a gun, I got a shotgun in the rack of my truck. Absolutely, they're going to proudly report they have a firearm. And in other states, or states where people might be a little bit more nervous, they're not going to report whether or not they had a firearm. I got to tell you, somebody calls me up and says, I'm doing a survey. Do you have a firearm? I'm not going to say yes. So the data itself was gathered in a non-scientifically valid way. Then they conveniently ignored the data that didn't apply to the conclusion they wanted to find. Wyoming has a significant number of firearms owners, and in the years that they looked at, had 0 law enforcement deaths. So it's just bad science. It's not even science. It's pseudoscience.
Well, and I know you.
It's emotion using statistics.
Well, and Stephanie Rawlings Blake doesn't like it either. She said so, right? Didn't we cover this 2 weeks ago?
It's not 9 o'clock. I can't respond.
But didn't she say that like 2 weeks ago? We covered this 2 weeks ago. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Yes.
Stephanie Rawlings Blake apparently just came out and said that the only solution to solving the problems in Baltimore is more gun control, even though Maryland has some of the strictest firearms laws in the country. But that doesn't have anything to do with it.
And as of today, 211. I'm hearing 211 homicides as of today, which ties all of 2014.
But not all of those are firearms related. So.
And it has absolutely nothing to do with any of the other things that contribute to crime rates. The cycle of poverty, recidivism, repeat offenders being let out onto the street. Nope, none of that has anything to do with it. Leadership, nope, no. It has to do with other states' gun control laws, is what Stephanie Rawlings Blake would like for you to believe.
Nothing to see here. Keep
Nothing to
moving.
do with the Baltimore State's Attorney's Office nolle prosequi and STET charging documents all the time.
Okay. I don't know what nolle prosequi is.
Nolle
It means
prosequi,
they
Latin
decide
for
not to prosecute.
we are not
Oh.
going to prosecute you, period.
Oh.
And STET is we're not going to prosecute you right now. We may prosecute
Right.
you in the
well,
future.
The STET document.
Null pros is basically, never mind.
Charges dropped.
Huh. Yeah. So interesting things going on. Very interesting things. How is everything with you and yours?
Lovely,
Good.
lovely.
All settled in the new house.
Getting there.
Well-
Yeah, we have to continually stop unpacking in order to clean up the messes that Wendy creates.
Well, little people do that. But you have a fabulous shelf and countertop in your kitchen.
Yes, I do.
Yes, you do.
And it's filled with all of the lovely products of the Second Amendment Preservation Society.
The multi-award winning,
That's right.
just saying, multi-award winning, multi-state award winning, by the way, because we have now won in 2 states. So yes, we are.
And then a couple of weeks, we'll win at the Virginia State Fair. I have confidence.
I have no doubt. We'll have to see what's going on with the Maryland State Fair too, because we're running out of time on that one. So, okay. Well, that is about all I have. And Shannon, do you have anything else you want to fire up the folks about?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. If anybody knows anybody, if you have friends or family in the Delaware region, there's a special election going on September 12th in the 18th Representative District, so pay attention to NRAPVF for the grades.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I don't live there. I don't know anybody that lives there, but I will. We will spread the word. So, Shannon, thank you so much for taking the time to call in. I know it's time to put Abby to bed. So. So we go. So
California of the East. Yep.
yeah, pretty much. I'm gonna finish. A meme on Facebook, and I'm sorry, what does it say again? I get the gist of it. I just can't remember what it says. Thank you.
I'm trying to find it. Real quick.
Anyway, while he's trying to find the meme, because the meme is hysterical. Out of a sample of approximately 20% of the Clinton emails, the reviewers, what the RC is, but anyway, the reviewers have only recommended 305 documents, approximately 5.1%, for referral to their agencies for consultation, the Obama administration said in new court papers. Well, I find it fascinating. The Obama administration is investigating the Clintons, but, what do I know? Dozens of messages already released publicly have had information redacted as classified, raising questions that Mrs. Clinton's security practices when she declined to use the regular state.gov system and instead issued herself an email account on a server she kept at her home in New York, which we already know has very questionable things. Quote, I was permitted to and used a personal email, and obviously in retrospect, given all the concerns that have been raised, it would probably have been smarter not to, she told Iowa Public Radio last week. But I never sent nor received any classified email, nothing marked classified. So it wasn't marked classified, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it wasn't classified. She said,
I'm sorry, but part of the whole briefing deck that you get, and every year, is one of your responsibilities is understanding how something becomes derivatively classified. Whether it's marked or not, you're supposed to evaluate things. That's a response.
Yeah. So yeah, it is. It's bogus. And she was in, I think, Iowa last week, saying basically, that the Republicans are just making this a political issue, and there's really nothing to it. It's just okay. I'm trying to find this I wish to God I could. I can't find it. Anyway, there's a very funny meme out, and it talks about how Edward Snowden did it, and now she's done it, but he goes to jail for it, and
He hasn't gone to jail for it because he's in a foreign country, but he's wanted for treason.
He's wanted for treason, and she's wanted for president.
Yes,
by somebody.
That's what it was.
Not me. So that's the story on that. I really don't have a lot this week. It has been a busy ass week. So, my apologies to Jim if that offended anybody in his store. But by the way, do shop at Centerville Liquors. And hold on, I need to check my list of things. We talked about Bloomberg's The Trace. Bloomberg is is funding his own little media magazine, I guess, newspaper, whatever, and it's all going to be to indoctrinate you all on how bad our guns are. And I know you're shaking in your boots. We talked about the milestone. We talked about, I want to make sure I covered everything that our friend put up for us. All right, what do you got?
So this one's one we talked about before. This one's John Fritz at the Baltimore Sun. Gun control becomes an issue in Maryland Senate race. It's actually semi-old news.
U.S. Senate.
Yes, the Democrats that are currently vying for the two front-running candidates or potential candidates to replace, I'll be nice, Senator Barbara Mikulski. I won't call her what I normally call her.
Babs.
No, I don't call her that either.
I don't think so. Funny.
Things that live under a bridge and were used to scare children.
Trolls? I've never heard that before. Gee.
So the two front-running candidates from the Democratic Party seem to be Chris Van Hollen and Donna Edwards. Just another article that Donna Edwards has now come out again, calling for a sweeping overhaul of federal gun laws in an opinion piece in the Baltimore Sun. Basically the same type of thing that Van Hollen is trying to do, basically taking the Freedom Suppression Act of 2013, more formally known as the Firearms Safety Act of 2013. Those in our community understand it, still call it, but really shouldn't, SB 281, since SB 281 is something different every single session.
Yes, that's true.
She's come out criticizing the NRA. Let's see, quote, "We have to take on the NRA with the force of a nation under siege and the passion of a people committed to ridding our country of a dangerous and deadly gun epidemic." No, we don't. We need to enforce the laws on the books and prosecute criminals for criminal activity. Blaming the inanimate object so that you can butter up to the criminal class is BS. Soapbox, I'll get off now.
And you can stay right up there. I'm trying to figure out how we know that Shannon's daughter smeared lipstick into their carpet.
She posted about it.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
I missed it.
Yeah. Ugh. So, and you already talked about this one. The another test for retailers with the retailers just basically say, yeah, no, to the expanded back to the call for them to ignore the results of the background check until they come back permanently. Basically ignore the 3-day rule.
I don't see anything about.
I know it was posted somewhere. It was out there that she complained. It was something that
I believe you.
She posted something on Facebook about emergencies. And having a discussion with the older sister that, yes, that would actually classify as an emergency.
Oh, yes. I do remember that, yes. I do remember that. So.
One of the interesting ones I did catch today that I didn't have a chance to actually link the article for us to print out, but there's apparently somebody in South Carolina now who is going after the same changes in the South Carolina legislature that were recently passed in ours.
Good luck with that.
Almost sounds like duplicate from I did not get a chance. I skimmed the article, did not get a chance to read it, didn't bookmark it, anything like that. But it was, when I read through it, I'm like, this is FSA 2013 all over again.
Yeah.
In response to the Charleston shootings. So,
there's some chat going on in the chat room about who everybody likes for president, and you should like who you like. But I've been doing the political thing for a while now, and I will tell you, it is way early to be getting behind a particular candidate and beating that drum, unless this person unless you feel particularly passionate about this person and you've done lots of research. I would say to you, as your friend, hang back a little. Let's see what happens. Because there's a number of candidates that I really like. Of course, I like Scott Walker. He's on my Ross Geller card. He just is. Anybody that tweets from a deer stand is awesome in my book. And I would love to support for president. So I would really like to support him. I also like Carly Fiorina. I thought she was surprisingly well-spoken at the debate. I thought Rubio was pretty good. Some concerns there, but there are concerns with everybody. Not really a big fan of Donald Trump, but, I guess wait and see. I know he says all the right stuff, but he doesn't really have a plan. And frankly, do we know where he stands on the Second Amendment?
Not really.
Yeah, I don't think we do. So,
I think he's done the lip service thing so far, but
yeah, well, somebody needed beer. Oh, some South Carolina Civil War reenactments that are part of History Weekend, even every year, have been canceled out of respect for those affected by the church shooting. Wow. Chris, why surprising from Carly? I don't think anybody anticipated her to kick ass the way she did, and I apologize again, but frankly, I'm not sure there's a better way to put it. I don't think anybody expected her to do as well as she did on the happy hour debate. I'm not sure how she would have done on the main stage, but that was a brilliant thing for her to be on the happy hour debate, because she cleaned everybody's clock. So I sure didn't see it coming. I thought she was going to end up being, an also ran kind of thing in the happy hour debate. But I understand she is the former head of HP and well-spoken woman. But it takes a lot when you're standing or sitting, whatever, on a television stage, and you're being thrown questions. And I have not participated in a presidential debate, but I have sat in Richard Scher's chairs and been thrown questions and been expected to debate things and come up with answers that are both cogent and on point and, very quickly. And it is not easy. You have to remember to take a breath, and, you have to remember to have a filter, and you have to remember that you can't be overly emotional. And a lot of the candidates that I saw were too emotional, and some of the candidates I saw weren't emotional enough. So you can be passionate, but you better know what you're talking about. So seemed to be a right, smart lady. I agree. Certainly, I'd love to see a woman president who's behind the Second Amendment and for smaller government and less taxes. I think that would be awesome. I would be the first one to get behind her. Well, maybe not the first. She obviously has a team. But that said, I want to see where this all goes, because frankly, Carly's answer when they went around and asked all the candidates a few months ago, we did cover this. And I remember very specifically, her spokesman said she owns a gun. She knows how to safely store it. She knows how to safely load it and how to safely unload it. And that was the extent of her comments. Now, doesn't mean that she's not pro 2A. Doesn't mean she's not. I would like to have more information. So I would caution everybody. We are literally a lifetime from the primary. So if you're going to get involved and you feel very passionately that you want to get involved and get behind somebody so that you are backing them from the word go, do your research. Because the last thing you want to do is back somebody that is going to end up with egg on their face. And right now, we aren't anywhere near what they call the October surprises. And they won't happen in October because the primary is in April. So sit tight. Richard shares chairs. Richard shares chairs. Richard shares chairs. How's that? That was actually a fun show, but it was tough because most of the time I was the most conservative person. There was always another conservative, but with the exception of Sean Casey, I was usually the most conservative person there. So that was Fiorina's living in Virginia now, huh? So.
Just doing some quick research, she has actually come out with some fairly significant stance statements on it. So
yeah. So
more than just the I own a gun.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, that's really all I have this week.
So a couple of things that just doing a troll of Facebook real quick just to see things. There was one that I did want to mention just because it's an interesting factoid to talk about. The U.S. Army Ranger School.
Yes.
On Friday, we'll graduate the first 2 women Rangers. So congratulations.
I think that's awesome.
That is a significant accomplishment. I have never been through either the Marine Corps School of Infantry nor the Ranger School. Both programs are considered to be very difficult ones. The Marine Corps School of Infantry is a little bit different because it's a basic school level thing for infantrymen, and they have had some women Marines that have gone through it successfully.
Did you see the Navy was opening up the SEALs?
The Navy is opening up buds to it, but they are not at this point significantly changing the stance on the physical requirements for the entry exam. The Marine Corps is under some heavy pressure to change the infantry officers course. As I said, the infantry non-commissioned officers course, which is the Marine Corps' equivalent of the Ranger School, a little bit less difficult, I'll admit, than the Ranger School itself specifically, because the Rangers have a specific design mission. But the Marine Corps' NCO program has graduated several women Marines, but the Marine Corps officers program has not graduated any. And the Marine Corps has been under some very intense pressure from Congress to change their philosophy, and the Marines have steadfastly come back and said, no, we still expect. And my brother Marine and I were talking about this the other night. You were there. We were all playing games, but the stance being that the Marine Corps looks at it, and the officers program is incredibly difficult. The passing rate for the men, if I remember correctly, is somewhere in the 23% range on the first attempt of the course.
Hold on, guys. We'll get to it. Hang on. Go ahead.
But yeah, that's one of them. So congratulations to the Ranger School. The one other one that just bringing it up real quick, just because one of our friends who occasionally comes in and listens to the show, Jeff, posted up something from Unbiased America. Something to keep in mind. Deaths in America in the last recorded statistical year, 2013.
Oh, Jeff.
2,585,745 deaths. Of those, 16,121 were murders. That is 0.6%. Of those, 40 were quote unquote mass murders. 0.2% of that population. So in other words,
okay, guys, hang on.
0.001% of all deaths were mass murders.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Okay, gee, I wonder what we want to talk about now.
I don't know. Should we talk about the price of tea in China? How much bourbon is
I like tea.
And the price of bourbon at Costco? When Rain Man's bringing me more bourbon? I don't know. And last night, I heard there was a meeting.
Well, I had my squad business meeting.
And how was that? How did that go?
I don't know. I skipped.
There you go. All right. Skipper Key, I think you're going a little far afield with that statement. Apparently, the HPRB meeting went very, very well. Dan, did you go?
Now we have to wait 10 seconds for him to
I
hear it
know.
and type a response.
I know. I would like to talk to somebody who was actually there. I know that Jack McCauley did a video on it, but I don't have his permission to play it on the air. And frankly, I needed to make sure that it was. I'm sure it is appropriate, but I didn't get a chance to screen it before we threw it up there. Yes, there was something about a review board of some sort last night. I'm still waiting for Dan to answer. And it's been, there we go. I had info, but no one asked me for it. Did you go to the meeting, Dan? Oh my God. Call my cell phone if you went to the meeting. If you didn't call, you were sick, but you have the notes. You have the notes from whom?
Probably a couple of people.
Right.
I know.
Well, I think the notes are pretty much up in
I know
Maryland.
our favorite realtor went.
I'm sure it did.
And a couple of others did.
All right. So the notes from Maryland shooters.
Oh, now you're going to make me pull it up.
Well,
hold on.
you read it, so just kind of go over it for those who didn't read the whole string.
So the general gist of last night apparently was 5 reviews and 1 hearing. And of those, so that 6 cases that were presented to them and 3 decisions overturned. So MSP recommended no permit and the HPRB said, we don't agree with you.
I think that's going to be very interesting. So now,
For a variety of circumstances.
so they disagree with MSP. Does that mean they get their permit?
Yes.
Okay.
I would assume if they voted to overturn that, yes, they were. The HPRB would be then recommending to, or ordering the MSP to issue a permit.
Dan, call my cell. Call my cell. I can't put you on through Blog Talk because it isn't functioning. So call the cell. If you have notes that aren't in Maryland shooters that you know are accurate, call my cell. Jeez. He's having a fit. You can tell he's sick because he's really like short on patience. And he's never short on patience with me. Oh, Dan.
Oh,
Look at him. It's like he's stomping off. Never mind. I'm going to give him crap. I should call him. You know what? I think I will. Just to give him a hard time. Let me find his phone number. Okay.
So yes, I know from having watched.
Yes, I told you I was going to. He deserves it.
Now let's see if he
won't answer. Watch him not answer. And the amount of grief
call from, answer or ignore.
He will get from me if he doesn't answer. Epic. Oh, see. Okay, guys, sick 'em. All right. Okay, doobie doo. That's right, Perrin. That's right. Oh, I'm not gonna do that, Bolts. That's disgusting.
So apparently, some of the notes from shooters were, again, we've got the MSP's only real response is Snowden and share, and the new members of the board aren't really buying it. And it kind of goes down to the boy who cried wolf. So.
Oh, there he is. Let's see. Now he wants to talk to us. You're on the air with Lock and Load Radio.
Do you really want to know what I was doing that I didn't answer the phone?
Well, what I'd like you to do is turn the volume down on your computer. And then you can go forward. Never.
Why can't I go back? The meeting was yesterday. Let's go back to the meeting yesterday.
All right. What do you know? What do you know that isn't on MD Shooters?
Well, most of it is on MD Shooters. However, the interesting thing is the handgun permit review board overturned 2 individuals, one of them specifically for ISIS threats, that is active duty military.
Interesting.
The second individual, part of it was ISIS threats, but probably the majority of it is that he is a 70% disabled veteran.
Well.
And then the third one was a young lady who is a nurse at Hopkins who
has a carry permit, asked for a renewal, and MSP said, well, since your threat's not current anymore, no, you don't get a permit. And the review board kind of cocked their eye at them and said, asked the trooper, actually they tried to find out if, well, do threats have a shelf life?
Do what have a shelf?
Do threats have a shelf life?
Threats.
Right. Well, according to MSP, they do, right?
According to MSP, they do. The HPRB seems to think they shouldn't.
Pulse. I'm not reading that one on the air either. You have to read the chat room. I can't. There's certain things I just can't go there. You all are such boys. You're such 12-year-old boys. Oh my God. So yes.
False if I light a match.
All right. Okay. You were muted. You're unmuted now. Be nice.
Also, I found out today that a gentleman that applied to have his restrictions amended 26 days ago got a letter back from the Handgun Permit Review Board that said, yes, your restrictions should be amended to review to be no restrictions except those that
Consistent
are lawful.
with Maryland regulations, statutes, and applicable articles.
Is this
Yes.
is this our favorite real estate agent?
No,
Okay.
this is somebody else, and he posted on Shooters, but I'm not going to out it
No.
here.
I wasn't asking you to. I was just curious.
No, it's a lawyer and former state district.
Okay. So don't know what it means, but it's interesting. So we will keep an eye on things. And Dan, I'm sorry to hear you're not feeling well.
Yeah, I'm coming up on the end of 3 weeks of being whatever this summer crud is.
Ew. Well, I love you, but I'm glad you're not here tonight. I don't need summer crud. I just started a new job.
I heard that today. Surprise, surprise. I heard it on the air.
I know. Well, I kept it. I kept a lid on it so I could announce it on the air.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, last night.
oh God, that's my dad.
Very interesting. The other interesting thing was they held the votes in public.
Well, good for them.
Well, we're done before. It's always been closed session, and we've never known what the votes were.
Yeah, and I think that's awesome. I think that's really awesome because it's not like, yeah.
Minutes for those who want to know what goes on at the HPRB, the minutes are starting to show up on the website as well. I will be in Michigan that week. I will not be there for that meeting, so somebody else will again have to take notes and send them.
What the heck are you doing in Michigan? You're from Ohio.
I'm going because I have friends of the family that their son is getting married, and they live in Michigan.
I suppose I'll let you go.
If not, then you get to pay the shipping for the wedding presents and get to reimburse us for the hotel room and all that fun stuff.
Yeah,
Hey, you've got a job. You can do that now.
yeah. I'm not spending money on you, dear. I'll buy you lunch or I'll buy you a beer, but I'm not spending money on your travel when I don't get to travel. So, okay. Wow, Dave just joined in the chat. Welcome, Dave. I don't know who Mona Lott is, but I can imagine it might be my friend whose name is Kevin, but I don't know. We got a full chat room. So, all right, Dan. Well, thank you. I hope you feel better, and I hope you feel better soon.
I'm getting there. I'm gonna rest and recreate again tomorrow.
You're gonna what?
Rest and recreate.
Good. All right. Well, rest.
Put my feet up and eat bonbons.
Sounds like a plan to me. All
Well,
right.
according to the look I just got from Sue, maybe not.
Uh-oh. Well, she is she who must be obeyed.
Well, they are her bonbons.
Yes, I wouldn't screw with Sue. I like Sue, but I wouldn't screw with her. So, all right,
There you
honey.
go.
Go ahead.
Talk to you later.
All right, sweetie. Thanks for talking to us. Talk to you soon.
Yep.
Bye.
She's waving as well.
Hi, Sue. All right, Dan from MSI on the HPRB. So you now know what we know. I'm just trying to check. We
So,
lost the feed
I-
again? Did we really?
I don't think. I mean, I haven't stopped broadcasting, so
No, I don't think so, but let's take a look. Okay, what's the deal?
well, Perrin's bringing up the bonbons, so he must have gotten the feedback.
Okay. Okay,
So
that's good.
circling back, Rain Man, as far as the board members are appointments by the governor. So including the chairman's position when the chairman's position vacates. So, I think they currently have, from what I remember, they have one vacancy and one remaining member from the old O'Malley board. The chairman is
Right.
still
holdover.
O'Malley's former appointment. So.
Yeah, the holdover. So, by the way, I like the camera better this way.
Okay. Well, it doesn't help when we have guests. When we have guests, we do have to push it back further.
Yes, but we don't have guests, so they usually call in. So, I think you have to work, Andy. No bonbons for you. I had my bonbons with dinner. Thank you. Okay, not going there. Okay. Yeah. Okay, it dropped and came back. All right. Well, apparently we're good. Yeah. This is going downhill real quick. Well,
So-
ultimately, yes. Hogan will have to appoint whoever.
So yes, Hogan will have to appoint a fourth sitting member of the board at some point. He obviously doesn't have to fill it right away.
Fifth.
Fourth member, not the chair.
Oh,
So the chair plus four members.
I got you.
The fourth member seat is currently vacant
I got you.
due to a resignation of of Mr. Collinson, who used to sit on the board. He used to occupy the chair. Used to occupy the seat, I should say, not the chair.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of Hogan's administration does need to make an appointment. Obviously, then all of these appointments are then going to have to be put through the ringer when the General Assembly comes back in session,
Right.
and because these are recess appointments at this point. So
Yeah, they will have to be.
we'll see what happens there.
So,
and yes, they do get paid. I don't remember.
Oh no, they don't. They get reimbursed for like travel. They don't get paid.
Okay.
They get like, you know what? They get paid for a day.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So like, that's it. But it basically is meant to cover food, travel.
Well, they
Stuff
also
like
have they can also file for per diem expenses. So
Food, travel.
yes.
Okay. All right. I think that's all we have. Oh God. Oh yeah, that'd go well. Can you imagine? Yeah. I'd be in trouble every time they met.
So Dan posted up in the chat, $120 a day for any day they hold a meeting or do HPRB work.
I don't think I could though. I think
think-
as an employee of the state, I don't think I could be on the board.
I don't know. I don't remember what the requirement. I'd have to look at the actual section to see what the requirement is
So,
and whether it precludes that or not.
question: what do you call Hillary when she has an opinion? Wrong. Okay. And Cypher is on the phone. Cypher, you are live on Lock and Load. I'm hoping you're calling me because you knew we were still on the air.
Yeah, I am calling in response to a conversation about the per diem for and permanent review board members.
Okay.
The chairman actually gets, and I'm going from memory, so I'm not certain if it's 100% correct, about $160 per diem for any day in which he transacts state business, and the board members get somewhere around $140 per day and I've heard allegations from staff that the budget is trivial, and they estimated around $10,000 to $15,000 per year cost to taxpayers, but they've failed to respond to any request to produce an actual budget or documentation.
Well, yeah, and unfortunately, that's I heard. So I don't really want to give that a whole lot. I don't want to. It'd be an interesting thing to find out. And actually, I think we could probably tear into the budget books. And maybe,
Easily enough.
yeah, we could probably tear into the budget books. Dan, while you're sitting around on the computer eating bonbons, why don't you tear into the budget books and see if you can find that out? Because it should be in there somewhere.
Anyway,
Okay.
keep up the good work.
Okay, thank you, darling. I'll talk to you soon. And he hung up. Okay. Not going to read that one. Okay, I think that's about it. The chat room is going down very quickly. So, yes. Uh-huh. So, thank you all for tuning in to this week's Lock and Load. Do you have a going out music? Thank you all for tuning in. We will be back next week. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Oh, I guess I will go out with an oldie and a goodie just because.
Just because you can.
No, just because he was once again on a street corner with people trying to drum up things in support. Our lovely friend O'Malley. And I don't even remember what, but it's just funny that he's out on a street corner trying to raise publicity.
Okay.
And it's just funny to me
Okay.
because he's a douche.
Yeah. I'm down. I'm down. Okay, so what are you playing? Is this the march? No.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
So anyway, many of you know the story. Washington had been burned to the ground, which I think enough for you. Hold on, wait a minute. What's the first one that comes down? If you give me the first chord, I'm okay. The last time we did this was at the Creative Alliance. That's C sharp minor. Which one? C sharp minor. It's in F, right? Am I capoed correctly? Isn't this professional? It's an E. No wonder I'm not going to hit it. Oh, I'm good now. All right.
Right.
Sorry,
see?
Raymond. I hope you didn't vomit too much.
All right.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.